Planning the ultimate Maldives luxury surf trip? Here's everything you need to know about Niyama Private Islands. Hey guys, Chris from Surfboard Travel here. Welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be talking about planning your trip to Niyama Private Islands, which is one of the best luxury surf trips that the Maldives has to offer. I headed back here recently again in March this year and had one of the best surf trips I've ever had anywhere on the planet. 5-star dining, luxury living and world-class waves. What more could you ask for? So today we're going to be running through everything you need to know about planning your trip to Niyama. And if you are planning on heading there soon, make sure you check out the crew of Stoke Surf Adventures and they'll hook you up with the best deals, run you through everything you need to know and make sure your trip is absolutely stress-free. So if you're planning your Maldives surf trip, this one's for you. So first things first, how do you get to Niyama Private Islands? Now there's two different routes you can get to the islands. The first is the seaplane transfer and the second is the domestic flight and speedboat combo. And now for me personally, the seaplane transfer is the way to go. It's a little bit more expensive, but it does get you to the island a little bit quicker. And a seaplane transfer is a really good bucket list item on its own. Those beautiful panoramic views over the islands, and you land directly at the resort. So within about 10 minutes of landing, you'll be unpacking your bags in your villa, ready to hit the surf. And now the other advantage with the seaplane transfer is you'll be met off of your arrival into Malé Airport. One of the Niyama crew will take you through to the seaplane lounge and you'll get access to their private lounge while you wait for your transfer. So there's drinks, snacks, nibbles, and even a nice refreshing shower if you want to grab one after your long international flight. It's about 45 minutes from the seaplane terminal to Niyama, so it's a really nice kind of short trip. But it does only run during daylight hours. So you've just got to be aware of your arrival and departure out of Malé as well. If you're looking at doing the seaplane, arrive kind of early to mid-morning to give you the most amount of options. And if you can take off kind of mid to late afternoon, early evening, that gives you plenty of scope to get yourself back to Malé from the island as well. Now the domestic flight and speedboat transfer are a little bit cheaper. So if you're traveling in a bigger group or you're in a bit more of a budget, it's going to save you a bit of cash, but it does take a little bit longer. So you're looking at about a 50-minute domestic flight and then a 15-minute speedboat ride from there to the resort. So it's a little bit more disjointed, takes a little bit longer, maybe not quite as comfortable because you don't get access to that seaplane lounge as well, but it will save you a bit of money. And the other thing to keep in mind with that is the domestic flight does run a bigger scope of flight, so you can take off and leave a little bit later and earlier. And you can also mix and match your transfers as well if that's the best option for your flight in and out of the Maldives. So you could do, say, a seaplane to the Niyama and then the domestic flight speedboat option back to Malé. So that's another one to keep in mind. Again, check out the crew from Stoke Surf Adventures. They'll run you through all the options and make sure they tee up the best option for you. Now alongside your transfers is also surfboards. So just be aware of this, guys. If you are heading down to Niyama Private Islands and you're taking your own boards, the maximum length you can take is 7 foot. So that's the length restriction on both the seaplane and the domestic flight option. So please keep that in mind. Double board bag, maximum of 7 foot is your limit. And that's included within your luggage allowance as well. So just be aware if you are traveling with a lot of luggage or some heavier boards, you may end up getting stung by some extra charges, which you'll pay at the airport when you check in. If you are looking at surfing longer boards or you don't want to take boards with you though, Niyama has a full range of higher surfboards that you can grab there. So if you're surfing long boards or you just don't want to take a board with you and faff around with that at the airport, there are higher options available as well. Now when it comes to accommodation, Niyama Private Islands has the full range of luxury villas you'd expect from a 5-star Maldives resort. Now, if you're looking at staying for the kind of more budget-friendly side of things, the beach villas and the beach pool villas are definitely at the more affordable end of things, and they're also the closest villas to the surf as well. So if you are looking at staying really close to the waves, those are the ones to go to. Now, even though they're entry-level villas for Niyama, they are super spacious and luxurious. So whether you're looking at the open-air bathrooms with their waterfall showers and the separate baths and shower areas, or the rooms themselves, which come complete with a fridge, popcorn machine, coffee machine, free ice cream, and really spacious rooms, you'll be well catered for. And of course, if you upgrade to one of the pool options, you'll have your very own private pool to enjoy and relax in the afternoon, in the evening heat. And then of course are the iconic overwater villas that you expect when you envision a Maldives surf trip. And in Niyama, their overwater villas come with their own private pools, direct access to the lagoon, and those beautiful panoramic views across the ocean. The only thing I would say is if you are going there to mainly surf, the ocean water villas are a little bit further away from Vodi, and it's about a 10-minute cycle ride from where they are to get to the surf break. So So if you want to stay closer to the surf break, the beach villas are the best option. But if you don't mind an easy cycle ride across the bridge to the other island, then the ocean water villas are beautiful as well. Now, if you're traveling with a larger group, a family, or looking for even more luxury, more space and more extravagance, then Niyama has you well covered there as well. Their 1 and 2 bedroom beach pool pavilions give you a lot of extra space, a lot more privacy, and come with some added bonuses as well. If you want to go to the top end of the scale, there's even their 3 bedroom beach pool pavilion, which comes with 2 swimming pools, 3 bedrooms, its own spa room, a sunken living room, and a heap of added extras, including butler service and even floating breakfast included. And if you did want to go all out, the creme de la creme accommodation at Niyama is the Crescent. Now, this iconic cul-de-sac of overwater villas is a combination of 1 and 2 bedroom ocean pool pavilions, and they're all grouped together into its own private cul-de-sac, which you can have to yourself. This comes with added extras such as like butlers, lots of added extra private services, of course your own little slice of paradise on its own private boardwalk at the end of the island as well. So yeah, if you're looking for the creme de la creme of overwater villas at Niyama, the Crescent is definitely the one to go with. And of course, we're planning a Maldives surf trip here, so you can't go through this guide without talking about the waves themselves. Now, one of the biggest draws of heading to Niyama Private Islands is the fact it's in the southern atolls, so things are a little bit quieter in that kind of area versus the North Malay atolls, which can get quite busy during peak season. But Niyama also has a private left-hand wave, Vodi. Now, this reeling left-hander is a great fun wave that can hold a variety of swells. So whilst I was there, I surfed it from everything from kind of thigh-high right to quite nicely overhead. Had a really nice pace to it. There is a little bit of a barrel section when the angle's right and when the swell's a little bit bigger. But for the most part, it was just a really fun, playful wave, nice long running wall. Did have a good pace to it, but it did slow down partway through, so you can get some really nice turns, and it's a really good wave to surf. Now, access to the wave is unlimited for guests, and it's a really nice, easy paddle out off the surf shack as well. So unlike other spots where you're dealing with like kind of quite bulky, bouldery reefs to get in and out or a lot of current, Vodi was actually quite flat. They've cleared a nice little section, a nice little keyhole that you can go out through, and the paddle out and in was actually not too bad. The main thing you've got to be aware of is if you kick out at the end of the wave, you've kind of got to paddle around and come back in at the keyhole, because else you're dealing with a bit of a kind of bomby boulder field, which is not the best option to go through. I went through there once. There's quite a lot of sea urchins. Avoid it if you can. Now, in terms of wave range size, Vodi can handle a huge variety of swells. While I was there, we had kind of a good range of pulses of swell, so I surfed it from thigh high up to well overhead. When it's a little bit smaller, super fun and playful, really kind of like mellow kind of reef break for kind of like lower end surfers as well. There was a few families there while I was there, and they were all having a blast. And then when the swell jacked up, everyone just grabbed the beer at the surf shack and really enjoyed the show. Got a little bit bigger, a little bit punchier. There was a few barrels coming through, so it can handle a lot of different conditions. But yeah, that's Vodi, the private left-hander at Niyama Private Islands. Now, in terms of other surf facilities, they do have a photographer and a videographer on site to have a chat with them when you arrive if you want to get some pictures or some video edits from your trip, and they'll be shooting most of the sessions. If you are looking at getting some pictures or some video, do just give them a heads up and they'll make sure they're there for all your surf sessions as well. Now, one of the other little things Niyama does for its surfers is they'll add you into the surfer WhatsApp group, which is really handy to keep an eye on. They give you updates throughout the day on the surf conditions, a little video clip first thing in the morning so you can see what everything's doing. And they'll also talk to you about whether they're running surf trips to surrounding breaks as well. So across the channel, there's Kasabu, which is a really nice right-hand reef break, and you can get a surf transfer there. They'll let you know the pricing, the timings, and everything for that, which obviously varies depending on the swell and the tides. But they'll keep you in the loop on that, and you can obviously chat to the surf guides and things at any point during the WhatsApp, tee up something with your new surf buddies, go for a surf as well. So that's another really little handy thing. As I touched on there as well, there are breaks in the surrounding area that you can go and surf, with Kasabu being the main one. Now, surf transfers there are not included with your trip to Niyama, but you can pre-book surf packages, which give you a little bit of a discounted rate, or you can pay as you go once you're there. Now, these surf transfers aren't the cheapest. They're from about $150 per person per session. So just be aware of that. Keep some in the budget if you want to head out and do that, or you think you might do when you're there. For me personally though, like on my last trip, I didn't actually end up bothering going to any of the surrounding breaks. Vodi was working really nicely while I was there in late March, and I didn't feel the need to go head elsewhere. I just surfed that front. It was easy. I could jump in at any point and really enjoyed the wave there, and surfed it in a huge variety of conditions as well. And now a couple of things that Niyama does that I really think are good for surfers is the bikes that are included with your stay. If you are heading there with a surfboard, they'll give you a bike rack, so you can easily cycle around the two islands, take that. But they've also got a set of lockers at the surf point as well, which you can leave like your boardies, your zinc, your sun cream, your surf hat, your towels if you want, and even your boards in those lockers. They're kept nice and safe, so you can easily access them when you want to go for a surf, so you don't have to keep to and from your villa. And now the other thing that I really liked as well, which was kind of like a smaller feature, but I really appreciated, is the fact there is a surf cam at Vodi. If you do have Surfline Premium subscription, you can check it out on there. One thing I will say is it's definitely bigger in the water than it looks on the camera. There was a few times I got caught out where I'm like, oh, it looks a bit small. I'll kind of, go for a little paddle. And I got there, I was like, okay, it's pretty solid out here right now. So just keep that in mind. But also the surf cam is streaming live to a dedicated channel in your villa TVs as well. So you can easily just chuck the surf report up on the TV at any point, keep an eye on it, and then paddle out when, when either there's no one in the water or it starts cranking. So what I did was I kept it on the TV at all times and just kind of kept on viewing it. Woke up first thing in the morning, checked the surf report on the TV, and then went for a paddle. So that's a really cool feature that I like. If you don't want to leave your boards at the surf shack in the lockers as well, if you are heading there as a surfer, they will provide you with a board rack in your villa as well. So whether you've got a quiver of boards, one board, or you're hiring, you can keep them there at your villa so you can grab them at any point. So there's a couple really nice finishing touches there for surfers. If you don't want to travel with your boards, obviously I've mentioned you've got to be under 7 foot with your boards if you're heading there on the domestic flight or the seaplane. But if you want to surf something a little bit different while you're there, the conditions change, or you surf longboards and you don't want to bring them with you, Niyama has a full range of hire boards as well, which you can pre-book in advance or you can grab while you're there. Same goes for reef booties as well. If you decide you want reef booties, don't want to bring them with you or anything like that, you can rent them there as well. Now, when it comes to non-surfing, Niyama offers a full range of day trips that you can get at most resorts as well. So whether that's dolphin watching, turtle, snorkeling, or day trips to local islands, there's plenty to see and do to keep yourself busy. If you are a keen snorkeler as well, from 2026, the Niyama packages also include a daily snorkel excursion, so that's a really good added value. And Niyama itself, if you are a keen snorkeler, there's a few pockets of reef around the resort, but it's not amazing. So you will want to head out onto those day trips to make the most of the snorkeling on offer. If snorkeling is one of the key features that you're looking for from your Maldives surf resort as well, check out spots like Aida because they have incredible house reef. And whilst Niyama is great in terms of luxury in the waves, the snorkeling there is not the best I've experienced in the Maldives. Now, alongside things like that, you've also got an award-winning spa, tennis courts, scuba diving as well, so there's plenty to see and do. And if you are traveling with families, they have an award-winning kids club that you can drop your kids off. They'll be kept very entertained whilst you kind of have a relaxing day, go off surfing, go for a spa treatment or anything like that. Kids Club includes some incredible activities as well. They head out to SubSix with a marine biologist to talk through all the marine life and the coral and stuff like that. And they're kept very busy and very happy. So your little ones are going to be well looked after while you enjoy the rest of your holiday. Now let's talk about dining at Niyama. Now Niyama is famed for having some incredible dining options at the resort, and there are 12 different dining venues you can sample across the two islands. Now, depending on the package you've gone with, at the moment they're doing lots of deals with half board and full board upgrades, so they're really good, so keep an eye out for those deals. And they give you access to the buffet meals at Blue or Epicure. Now, when I say buffet, I know a lot of people will probably go to like school canteen style buffets or like hotel style buffets. This is definitely a buffet with a difference, and it's definitely still fine dining. They vary the cuisines every night, and you get a lot of different options, and they still have live cooking stations. So, depending on the theme night, they'll be cooking up live food right in front of you to order. And just the standard and the quality and the quantity of the food is pretty epic. So if you want to stick to keep things easy, the buffet, really good option. Now, the other option with the full board dining option and the half board is you can swap your evening meal for credit to use towards some of the other restaurants and a la carte restaurants across the two islands. So currently at the moment, that's about $70 US per person, which if you do 2 people together will get you a starter to share and a main meal each. Obviously, if you do want to spend more, you can do, and you just top that up and add that to your room bill. And now when it comes to food there, the food is, there's something for everyone, to be honest. Nest does Asian infusion cuisine, and the duck curry there was absolute next level. You've got an underwater restaurant at SubSix, and they do a set dining menu. That one is a little bit more expensive, around about $250 per person for a set 8-course meal, but it's definitely worth it. And they're unbeatable views across the reef. You've got sharks swimming by, shoals of fish. It's absolutely fantastic. If you don't want to do the full meal experience there, or you're kind of sticking to a little bit more of a budget and can't afford that, it's absolutely fine. You can still head there for drinks as well, which is well worth the experience. Other options there include Tribal, which is a really good kind of South American, African cuisine kind of mix. So they do incredible steaks and really good meaty culinary dishes. And they do also food experiences across the week as well. So they do the kind of braai night, the tuk-tuk street food, and lots of other options. So in terms of food across the island, you've got a lot to choose from. You could dine somewhere different every night and really mix things up. Or you can stick to the included buffets, and they will definitely tick all the boxes and refuel you after a hard day in paradise. Now, the other thing to mention alongside dining options is also drinks packages as well. So you can pay as you go if you want at any of the restaurants and bars across Niyama. So your beers start from about $7 US, cocktails from about kind of $13-14 US. So it's not crazy prices, but it is up there. You've also got 2 different drinks packages. You've got an alcoholic drinks package and a non-alcoholic drinks package. Now currently the non-alcoholic drinks package starts from about $40 US per person per night, and the alcoholic one is from about 120. So there's a big difference in there. Now personally, my advice to people with this is I would go with the non-alcoholic drinks package, because that gives you access to mocktails, alcohol-free beers, all the soft drinks, teas and coffees throughout the day, so you can go absolutely nuts. And then you can pay as you go if you want for the alcoholic style thing. So if you want an after surf beer or a cocktail, or you're treating yourself to some wine with your evening dinner, pay as you go is usually the best way to go, unless you're partying hard. If you fancy drinking quite a lot of cocktails, you're going to spend a few days by the pool just drinking, or you're a big partier, then obviously the drinks package can work out really well. However, if you're going there for surfing, the chances are you don't want to wake up with a big hangover in the morning and miss an epic dawn patrol at Vodi. So it's totally up to you on how much you're going to drink, whether those options are going to suit your budget and your style of travel. But for me, I would definitely go with the non-alcoholic package, because that gives you access to all your waters, drinks, teas, coffees, mocktails, alcohol-free beers, and you can go absolutely nuts with those without having to worry about anything. And there you have it, guys. That's my full rundown of Niyama Private Islands and what you need to know about planning your luxury Maldives surf trip there. As I've mentioned before, make sure you check out the crew of Stoke Surf Adventures, and they'll hook you out with the best deals and make sure you have the best trip to the Maldives. And if you have any other questions about Niyama Private Islands, make sure you add them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you've already visited Niyama, make sure you leave some helpful tips and handy hints down below as well to help people plan even further. That's it for this week, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Yep.